All right, ladies and gentlemen. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about Twitch. Now, the reason why we're talking about Twitch again is because, well, Twitch is taking so many L's, I can't even keep track at this point. Twitch has decided that it's in their best interest to have some weird disdain against VTubers. And I really don't know what the situation is, to be honest with you. There are a lot of people that are coming out right now speaking out against Twitch and how they're handling TwitchCon. I know for a fact one of the VTubers over at Twitch actually got doxxed by Twitch because they forced her to take her mask off in order to verify who she was. I'm not kidding. They made her take off her facial disguise so that she could verify who she is and all of that. I mean, you would think that they would have some level of security for situations like this where they could probably verify behind closed doors or something like that. Maybe not out in the public in front of everybody, but regardless, you know, this is what they decided to do. So we have a post here from it says Nero here on X, and it says Twitch staff cut a meet and greet with popular VTuber Chibidoki short and blamed her for it, despite Twitch staff being the one who cut it short. Instead of adding more security or doing something productive, they're just ruining the experience for fans who attend. So apparently, one of the biggest problems right now is Chibidoki. Apparently, her line that she had, her meet and greet, Twitch forced her to cut it short for security reasons, right? Because the line was getting too long. Apparently, she was too popular, right? I guarantee you they wouldn't have done that with Emaru if the whole situation didn't happen with her and that psycho that ran up to her, right? I guarantee you the line could have got as long as they wanted and nobody would have cared. But when it comes to a VTuber, oh no, we can't have them looking, you know, more popular than anybody else. But in any case, let's look at this photo right here. You have Chibidoki saying the following: they also cut us short and we didn't get to meet everyone. I'm so sorry. If you see me around the con, please feel free to say hi. And then Rabono says, wait, they cut y'all short? When I asked the staff, they said that it was y'all who cut it short. I can't believe they tried and shift that onto you. She says, no. What? We always meet every person. Last year, we stayed for 3 hours. I think the line was too long, and for safety, they didn't want us staying. Then it says, Rabono says, oh, that's sad. A lot of us had to leave because they told us the line was cut because of your voice issues and that typically they move folk to a different meet and greet area, but due to health conditions, it was just cut off. She says, what? But I never told any staff my voice problems. I didn't even talk to any staff near my booth, only at the entrance, right? So then she says, can anybody else from my meet and greet vouch for this? Nags and I were told to stop. I'm so incredibly sad if this is true. I was genuinely so excited to meet everyone. They told us we had to end for safety. I never even told any staff that I'm sick. I'm so confused. I showed up and I asked if I could wait for Nags before going out. That's the only time staff talked to me in the meet and greet area before telling us to cut the line short. I'm so sorry if this is true. And then another person verifies and says, yep, they straight up told us they were kicking us out because you couldn't talk anymore and we're ending early. We had only seen the tweets, so we were like, oh, understandable. But then after the meet and greet, we met up and you said that you did, and we kind of, question mark. That is a straight up lie. I was feeling better and talking normally. I'm seriously so sorry, right? So more confirmation of lies. And again, this is where it gets really fucked up. So apparently they also threw out the fan gifts that she got from her fans that were waiting online that gave the gifts to the Twitch staff because obviously she was doing the meet and greet. They just magically threw them away or lost them or whatever the case may be. TwitchCon staff is all over the place on miscommunication between attendees and streamers. A friend of mine was given so much incorrect information, being originally told she could join your line after a separate meet and greet at the same time, but then removed entirely from the meet and greet area. She had a small bag, gift bag of things in a clear bag she wanted to give you. She asked security if they could give it to you. They said yes, then proceeded to toss it to a nearby trash bin. When she confronted them about it, they told her it was a security risk and could have held an explosive. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. We were told we could join the line again by one staffer only for security to tell us that it was capped. We don't blame any of you for this. Staff clearly doesn't know what it's doing. So, okay. At this point, if they threw it in the trash, like, do you not have a team there to investigate packages of any kind? Do you not have anything? Remotely anything? And let me ask you a question. If it was an explosive, okay, why the fuck did you throw it in the trash? Do you think the trash can is going to contain an explosive and nothing is going to happen when the bomb goes off inside of the trash can? What kind of nonsense is that, bro? What kind of excuse is that? That was a completely made up lie, bro. There's no way you can sit here and tell me that by throwing the fucking gift into the trash bag, that somehow makes everybody safe from a potential explosive. We all know that is not what you were really doing. We all know that is not what you were actually trying to protect people from. You were throwing it into the trash because you didn't want it to get to the hands of the VTuber for whatever reason. Right. And then if it was an explosive, how did it get past your metal detectors? How did it get past any of the stuff? Do you guys not have any security, anything whatsoever? Nothing? Like, this entire thing just seems made up on the fly. I feel like they're literally winging it. They're winging it at this point. They don't even know what the fuck they're even talking about. So now here's the interesting thing, right? ZanBT over on X says the following. As of right now, I have noted 12 similar incidents, all of them affecting only VTubers, right? Unless someone has seen regular streamers facing similar issues, then please share it. The only logical conclusion is that these are malicious actions perpetuated by some Twitch staffer and security. What is he referencing? He's referencing this from Iron Mouse. Iron Mouse says, I deeply apologize to all the VTubers and the fans who had meet and greets at the VTuber booth this year. It breaks my heart to know that staff throughout all of the gifts, all of them, every single one of them. I should have known better than to trust them and taking care of everything ahead of time. I am so sorry. So imagine the amount of money that people lost by buying gifts for these people for them to never get it. And then 12 different incidents affecting all VTubers happening at TwitchCon where gifts just magically get thrown out. Something's got to give, right? Something is clearly wrong here. Now, I want to make it very clear about one thing and one thing only. There is a hard-on that Twitch has, right? There's a hard-on that Twitch has for VTubers. I don't know what it is, right? I got to imagine that a lot of it has to do with protecting the status quo. And I think that when it comes to VTubers, I think they view them as a threat to the status quo, right? The typical e-thought, the typical, e-girl Twitch streamer that, usually gets astroturfed on that platform. That is being basically threatened by the success of VTubers. And they're trying everything they can to try to make sure that those girls get propped up and VTubers are held back as much as possible. And obviously it's not working because, well, authenticity is always going to shine through, right? Lilia says the following. A really insane thing happened to me while I was streaming on Twitch last night. I had over 130 viewers at the time, and suddenly it dropped to 10. I did a test as shown below to tell viewers to type 1 in the chat, and there was way more than 10 people there. The weird part about this is that usually the viewer count goes back up once people type, but it stayed at 10 viewers for over an hour. Eventually, as time went on, it dropped to 3 viewers and eventually 1 viewer. I rated out with 1 viewer, but the person's viewer count went up by over 100. It was not a visual bug, though. My Twitch tracker showed that I drastically fell from 10 to 3 to 1 viewer. I've seen lurkers not counted before, but now actual viewers were not being counted even after interacting. I did this test multiple times, one while I was recording my stats, and the other test was done before that with the chat being shown on screen. I am so confused, and I can only hope that this is a temporary problem. Now, this could be a temporary problem. It could be, right? It definitely could be. Because I've seen this happen with YouTube. There was a moment I remember specifically where I had like 700 people in the chat, and then all of a sudden I dropped to like 30. Right. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why did something, die? Like, what's going on here? But then the chat started spamming like crazy. I'm like, there's way more than 30 people in the chat right now. Now, Rev says Desu put on a post here that kind of summarizes all of this, right? He says Twitch is being more transparent. This is not the W you think it is. Just know that Twitch's updated terms ban content like the VTuber on the left while actively promoting content on the right. Keep putting pressure on them. Force them to be consistent. What is he talking about? Well, there's a post here from this person called Fallen Shadows. Says this image frightens Twitch staff. Like, comment, and retweet to strike intense and visceral fear into the hearts of Twitch moderators. They're apparently banning VTubers for showing feet. I'm not kidding. They're banning VTubers for showing feet. However, Reb says Desu posted this picture, which clearly shows that Twitch has no issues with any of this. I can't show the whole picture because of YouTube, but you can clearly see where this is going. If I lower it just a little bit, you can clearly see that this is one of those girls that has what we call, the old school ass cam, right? So what's the old school ass cam? So one of the cameras is showing her face and her body that is barely covered up, obviously, and the other camera is showing full on ass. Okay, full on ass, and there is a little snippet of gameplay, a little bitty snippet of gameplay that's here in the corner that, you know, you can pretend like you're looking at when we all know you're not looking at that. This is why people call Twitch the soft core website, because that's exactly what Twitch is. Twitch is the soft core to the soft core. Twitch is genuinely just made to be a funnel to OnlyFans streamers. That's basically it. That's all Twitch has been for a very, very, very long time. So, and keep in mind, guys, this is also something that has been happening where they'll put like a green effect on their ass, and they'll put the gameplay on their ass. Like when I'm telling you, these girls are getting creative at trying to toe the lines of Twitch. This is really what's going on here. And then you wonder why Dan Clancy is being caught with all these female streamers. Now, again, guys, I find it ironic that this girl's whole ass is out here for everyone to see on Twitch with all the cutesy little fucking plushies in the background. But meanwhile, you know, feet as a VTuber is a massive problem and will get you suspended. I just find it to be very, very interesting. So overall, I feel bad for these VTubers who apparently, again, were getting their gifts thrown out and whatnot. It's really kind of fucked up, and it just goes to show that Twitch has a massive hard on for VTubers. Why that is, I really don't know, but you guys can let your conspiracies be known in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider hitting that like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.